My name is David Straub. I'm Director of Business Development for CSC Delaware Trust, and I am now in my 16th year here.
My name is Steve Gerlando. I head up the business development team for CSC's Delaware Trust business, and I've been with the company for a little over 2 years.
Primary feature of escrow is to increase transparencies and protections in a complex transaction such as an M&A transaction. And it does this in 3 different ways. An escrow agent is an independent agent standing between the buyer and the seller in an M&A transaction. And it's that independence that provides protections and transparency. The second way is the amount of money that's held in an escrow. So the more protection that's required, the greater the balance in the escrow is going to be required. And the third is the language that dictates how funds and when funds are released from the escrow account. And so in summary, there are 3 ways that an escrow provides those protections and transparencies. The first is the fact that the agent is independent, the second is the balance that's held, and the third is the language that releases the funds that's in the escrow agreement.
Companies frequently issue debt to finance or partially finance an acquisition. If the debt capital markets are favorable, they may look to issue the debt and lock in a specific interest rate well in advance of receiving all their required regulatory approvals. In scenarios such as this, the escrow agent will hold the proceeds from the bond offering until such time as those regulatory approvals have been received. This gives the investors a high level of security knowing that their funds are safe and they'll be returned to them in the unlikely event that the acquisition does not proceed to closing.
So I'm often asked this question by sponsors and investors, and how can an escrow increase investor confidence? And an escrow that's used to do that is called a subscription escrow. And the way it increases investor confidence is it requires the sponsor to reach a certain level of money raised before a project can start. So investors know for certain that either their money's going to be returned to them or their project is going to start.
One trend that we've seen this year is restructuring transactions that require a third-party escrow agent to hold and disperse funds. These are not your typical holdback of funds from distressed asset sales, but rather lenders who are pre-funding their portion of an exit financing in advance of a company emerging from Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. These are very complex transactions that require a high level of coordination with several dozen lenders, multiple law firms, and several restructuring advisors.